Soil. I'm live. We can hear the noise you're making. We can hear your tapping. How come you always get upset with people? How come the stocks you're not in? This man doesn't like FingerMotion. I'm just psyching myself up for all the negativity, the negativo. Rolling Stone. Stones inside her head.
All the time.
Love on the rocks. Yeah, Marco, that's a good observation. I know black screen. I don't know what goes on anymore. I have to improve my service to you guys. But for the price, like Don Rickles will say, but for the price you're paying, that's a funny joke. All right, let's see. NIXX is down half a penny. Finger is down 13 cents. Railtown is down, I don't know what it is, 0.001, a tenth, a little over a tenth of a penny. GBUX is down 23 cents. PSLV is down a penny. Well, I don't know, 0.005. And I don't know what else is important out there to you guys. I know Lion of All Trades loves GME. That's 27.52. That's down a little bit today, but it's up since he pointed it out. see what Barrick Gold's doing. Barrick Gold, $19, $18.91. That'll be, Barrick Gold will be $100 stock before the cycle's through. But I'm talking, I'm talking by the time Sharif is an old dog, 2030, something like that. 5 years from now, 5 years from now. But that's, most of you are going to live that 5 years. That's, when I was younger, I didn't believe it, but the 5 years finish, they fill out. So you might as well start making the strategies. Let's talk about NIXX's volume. NIXX is very low volume today, 33,000 shares. I think with NIXX, your time to buy that stock for a trade, depending on the news, you can make your decision whether you want to hold it. But for your trade, I think you're running out of time on NIXX. I'm not saying that it's, it doesn't mean it's going to work, but I think it will. I think you can double your money, triple your money. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It's a nice trade, it's a very nice trade. Railtown is complicated, obviously, from their announcement. That's a lot going on there. So maybe it takes a little longer, but I feel the same way about that you don't have much more time to buy into that. I do want to talk about silver and PSLV. When you have profits, maybe you can start to put 10% of your profits. The simplest thing out there is PSLV. There are other physical silver trusts, but the guy I trust is, I trust Eric Sprott. I've followed him a long, long time. I never met the guy, but I think that he does everything to make sure that the odds are with us, which is with him. He's a billionaire. All right, just checking the news there. Something popped up. All right, let's talk about Finger quickly. Finger, I don't know if I have the stupid chart I put up before. I don't think I have a new one. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Maybe that's it. Let me just see. Yeah, there's my last chart I gave you with Finger. And I got to put my glasses on. My eyesight is confusing. All right, so you see the second red line, not the lowest one, the top one. And I'm a fat finger guy when I draw charts. I'm not very exact. But you can see that upward trend in Finger, which, in fairness to myself, I called back in sort of that January time frame, end of January time frame. But it's not about me. I'm just, guys jump on me like somehow I've been negative. But that trading range right there, that's been the band. I mean, you can say someone's negative, but you can't argue with what happened. Every time Finger went to the top of that range, it pulled back. Every time it got into the bottom of that range, it rallied. And it's been doing that basically since December. So you got December, January, February, March, April, and now we're about to go into May. Well, let me just show you this stupid chart. I say stupid because I don't think I draw very well. This is a more narrow chart. This is like, I don't know, 6 months. Maybe it's more than that. No, I guess it's not. But anyway, the point I want to bring this chart up, this trend line down the green, the stock just by time alone broke that trend line. And then going back to this chart, where the yellow hook is there, the leg, the vertical yellow line, that's the gap. And that's the gap that was caused by Anson Funds and Roth Capital. Just to be clear, I think Finger did a smart thing taking that financing. Look what the stock has done since then. But it was a one-off destruction of the stock that Moez Kassim, Philip Vallier, and Roth Capital caused. There's just no way around that either. But they raised the money. The company used the money wisely, and it's been on an upward trend, but it's been in a trend. Now, at the sort of the end of March, it tried to break up to $2, which is that gap, that yellow line. That's where the gap is, the $2 range. But the stock rallied, and it hit almost hit the 200-day moving average. And that was it. That was it. And it pulled back. So it punctured the upper level of the range, hit the 200-day moving average, and collapsed all the way back to the lower end of the range. Took, I don't know what that is, 2 weeks to rally, started rallying again, pull back, rally again, gets to the top line, and it breaks out. Now, this chart I did, I think, 2 days ago or Sunday or something. But it breaks out, and it goes above the 200-day moving average by definition, because the 200-day moving average is declining, and it basically goes to the previous attempted breakout, the previous high of a month ago. Now, maybe, and I'm not putting any words in his mouth, but maybe Line of All Trades would see that as a double top. I don't see it that way. And I'm not trying to pick on him. I'm just, you read, everybody sees what they want to see in the patterns. It's like a Rorschach test. To me, what has happened here, and what's missing in this chart, is the stock went above 2. So it closed the gap at 210, 213. It's pulled back, and lo and behold, what are they doing? What are they doing? It's all computer trading. They're just pulling it back. The breakout is the red line. The breakout is the 200-day moving average. The gap is filled at 2. And so that resistance becomes support. And they're just testing it. They're just testing the support. And I warned you of that. I warned you it's going to be a stop-start kind of climb, and it's going to be, what's the terminology Ham used, buy the dips, sell the rips, and and that's what I expect in Finger for the next 3, 4, 5 weeks. The thing that will change Finger is if there's a surprise, maybe a joint venture with SAIC. I have no clue about that. Or maybe a financing that's priced above the market with a friendly investor. Or maybe a bunch of investors coming out of the Southeast Asia to get their money away from the depression that's going on in China. I don't know. Those kind of surprises, it can move quickly. But so what's my point? I think the stock's gonna, I can't read what that red line is, 160 to 174, something like that. I think the stock's just going to test down here and bounce off of it. I think it's going to bounce. It could take more than one day. And then I think that 183, 185 range becomes resistance slightly. And then $2, they'll come back through it. And, I stick by the 20-cent intervals, 220, 240, 260, 280, $3, 320. And then probably 340, 360 is where it can break out. But I think the biggest resistance, whatever, the biggest potential halt will be around that 240, 260 range. In the short run, it's nothing damning for the long run. Nothing to be afraid of. Hey, Ken. Oh, I like Gronk. So I was walking by this table yesterday outside, and there were two women who were very nice, but they probably wondered who the hell this guy is. But there were two dogs, and there was this one dog as I was walking, they were at a restaurant, they had a little fence for the outdoor area. But this dog saw me, and she looked up at me, and I looked at her, I smiled, and she started wagging her tail. And as I went around the corner, she came over on her leash, and then she stuck her head out, and she was the greatest little dog. I don't know her name, but she said hi and just was so happy. I was so happy. And the two women were like, who the hell are you? Who the hell are you? But it was great. I love the dogs are the great. Painting in front of my house today. That's good. Yeah, she caught my eye, and then she kept looking, and then she walked around the end of the table, came around, stuck her head out. She's such a great dog. Did I miss a GBUX update? No, I didn't say anything about GBUX. GBUX, I did give the price. I think I did anyway. Maybe I didn't. Wasn't intentional. Let me give you the price. I thought I did, but it's down 30 cents at 301. Yeah, I don't know if Ham said the easy money's been made. But the two things I notice in all of these plays that we somehow hear about, it's the first run. I mean, we get all excited. Like, I use GBUX as an example. It goes to 8, it goes to 12, and it's going to go to 100 or whatever number. And then that's all it does. It just goes there. And that's been true of many of the stories we found. I still believe GBUX, of all the stocks that we're talking about right now, but it's a gamble. I mean, there's no certainty. It's a bet. It's a punt. But I still think GBUX has, well, let's just be upfront about the risks. They put out, like all CEOs have to, they put out non-definitive press releases. So the shorts turn on their computers and say, hey, we can FUCK with that deal. Because the deal, even if the deal's great, There's no investor, no CEO on the other side of the deal that's going to keep their agreement when the stock goes down by 90%. And then the per share value of any deal gets destroyed. You know, I get tired of saying the same thing over and over again, but that's what goes on. That's all their strategy is. It's not complicated, and they do it over 100 stocks. Maybe one costs them money. Regulatory indifference, broker-dealer greed, instituted. I'm telling you, our security system is a fractional reserve security system. They make their money on stock loan and fees. So anyway, the one thing about GBUX to me is it was a 10x from when Ham first started talking about it. Of course, I didn't act. But the thing about GBUX, it's still only been about 90 days. That to me is not enough time to go hire Frank Benedetto to pitch a different stock, to go bribe the CEO with dyed hair and a British accent and 3 first names to go pitch another stock, come into the spaces. It's my fight. The drum major. That's not enough time to get the Greek to manipulate stock prices offshore for his own benefit and do an offering, sucking 35 million out of the market. It's not time to get a guy like Lou Bravo to, oh, I love Lou. Lou's dead. How can you say that? Look, Lou would be telling you the same thing. I think Lou was looking out for everybody. But I don't think 90 days is enough time to gear up that whole mechanism. I don't think 90 days is enough time for a company like Alpine to start moving the trades offshore. I don't think 90 days is enough time to call Ken Griffin and see if he'll bail out these 2 shorts. I don't think 90 days is enough time for that. So in my opinion, GBUX still has that trap aspect that the shorts can't fight. GBUX announced, as you know, what the F update is there? It's just the same announcement they made that they're bringing in $200 million for 30% of the company. Unfortunately, it says LOI, it's not definitive, and the criminals are going to sell down the stock to see if the investor is going to ask for 80% of the company. That's what they're doing. And they do it with computers. And they do it with stock they don't own. They never have to deliver. They create stock out of thin air with your collateral. The money you paid for stock, and I paid, and it's sitting at the DTCC. That is used as collateral to destroy the supply and demand equation, to destroy price discovery, and it's all in favor of a handful of white, straight, religious males. But no one cares. No, you can't point that out. Can't point that out. Maxine Waters with her sour, paid-off puss. She's not going to point it out. Gary Gensler's not going to point it out. Robert Cook needs a pair of balls and some eyesight. The guy that's just enjoying life, smiling and giggling over at OTC, Charles Cromwell, he doesn't care. It's the same game over and over again. But I think the difference with GBUX is the guys are trapped. And I choose to believe that these announced deals are going to get done, but they might not. They might not. It's taking a long time. That's what the criminals want. They want you to sell out. They want, when it runs, you get out early, all of that. But I still think GBUX has, look, it's a bunch of guys, as I read it, just from press releases that are trying to set up. It's like building a sandcastle on the beach. You build it, and you're trying to make it beautiful before the inevitable wave comes in and destroys it. And you want to show it to somebody before. That's what they're doing. So there's some manipulation. I think it's all legal, but it's a fight. And it's a fight against time. They have to get that $200 million deal announced, in my opinion, prior to the already announced dividend record date. Why? If you were buying 30% of the company and the company's giving away 10% to everybody as a free good, do you want to buy your 30% before that happens? So you get 10%, you get an additional, you end up with you end up with enough stock to maintain your 30%, or are you going to wait till after it's done so you only have 27%? I don't know. You can do your own thinking, but I think that's the time frame. So we got a couple of weeks, a couple of weeks, I think, that we'll find a definitive announcement that the 200 million came in for X number of shares, and this is how it was done, and that was 30% of the company, and that might start the stock rallying. And if I'm right, the criminals haven't been able to get out of the trap in this case, and you could get a run in the stock. But GBUX doesn't call me Wall Street Wolfie and say, hey, William, we already signed the deal. We're going to announce it on Thursday, but why don't you let Wall Street Wolfie to know beforehand? It's material information. We understand that. But Wall Street Wolfie deserves to know before anybody else. They don't do it that way. They don't do it away. Oh, Lord. All right, so we got to deal with this criticism. Not cool of me to take part of my comment to crap all over me when I was trying to find out if Ham's Twitter account, left that part out, emphasized Trump Truth Social. Yes, Ham's Twitter account changed. Go on Twitter, search Finger, and I'm sure you'll see him, because he's on there 30, 40, 50 times a day. He set up a Truth Social account. People put up his Ham account. I don't know. He has a new Truth Social account. I don't know if he has a completely new Hamster account, but you can find it. And yes, you were using, let me turn it back on you. You were using your question for Ham's new account to point out to everyone here that Trump is a liar. That's your view, but I don't agree with you. He's a showman. There are times when he gets going, it's a pitch. But I tell you, Lou, and I know you don't listen to him long enough, but if you listen to more than just a snippet on Rachel Maddow's show and listen to 30 minutes of Trump answering every question, he tells the truth. So not cool of me, not cool of you. You're calling our president a liar. I think that Joe Biden, Joe Biden's handlers, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton. Christopher Hitchens wrote a book about Bill Clinton. Nobody left to lie to. I think those are the people that you should focus your ire on for lying. And I don't think we have time for your feeling that you're being good and standing up for truth and somehow fighting the good fight. We don't have enough time. We have one term of Trump to see if we can get working class jobs back in the United States, to see if we can stay out of World War II, and you're focused on that he's a liar. Well, that's what I was reacting to. I don't think Trump's a liar. So we have a fundamental different view. I think Joe Biden is corrupt. The laptop existed. Hunter Biden is corrupt. Barack Obama, even in my studying of Fukushima and other aspects of Barack Obama's presidency, I'm not also sure he was totally honest. And you're going to say, oh, they all lie. Well, I don't think Trump lies. Jimmy Carter didn't lie. I think Trump sometimes gets ahead of himself with his big, beautiful this and all that. But I think Trump is looking at the reality of 40 years of Bill Clintonism, 40 years of Democratic policy just gutted the working class in the United States, destroyed our industrial strength, and enhanced Wall Street. And you want to come on here and say, not cool. I couldn't follow the 30 people that, well, not 30. See, I exaggerated too. The 9 times that people on here put up Ham's address, I couldn't follow it. So I wanted to ask again, and I'm not going to go on Truth Social because Truth/Trump is an oxymoron. I think the entire Democratic Party is full of morons. And I'm a Democrat. I voted for Bill Clinton twice. I voted for Barack Obama twice. There's only one president I've voted for 3 times in my lifetime, and that's Donald Trump. So if you want to trash Trump, you can, but don't tell me it's not cool when you put a passive-aggressive dig out there and I respond to it. Your purpose was to slam Trump, and now you're offended that I went back at you? I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not sorry in that, oh, man, I was out of line way. I'm sorry in that conversational way that, hey, dude, you want to throw the CNN, MSNBC, New York Times bullshit at me, I'm going to tell you back that Trump and truth are not oxymoronic. But, you know, you're going to win. You're going to have your chance. Canada is buying all the crap from the world, the globalists. And, you know, you're probably going to get AOC next time, or the guy from California, and they're going to cheat. Biden brought 20 million people in by aeroplane, open borders. And you know what? That's a policy decision. He cheated in his election, but he became president. And even dishonest elections have consequences. So you supported 20 million people coming in, as far as I'm concerned, without even being screened for smallpox, polio, measles, because Donald Trump is an oxymoron. when you match Donald Trump in truth? I don't know what you're thinking. What's happened to your brain? The Democrats, when did the Democratic Party become the party of war? When did we become the party against free speech? When did we become the intolerant party? And you still support it? That's up to you. But what was truthful about Joe Biden as when it came to the worldwide event that I can't even mention on YouTube? Was he honest about that? Was Fauci honest about it? Those are real lives. Do you know they put those things that I'm not allowed to? They made it mandatory for babies and children. And children don't even contract that thing. But there are leukemias and other cancers. And that doesn't bother you? It's just truth and Trump are oxymoronic? That's all you can come up with? That's why they win. And I'm telling you, if Trump is not successful turning this USS United States around, you're going to get all of the consequences of Democratic Party cheating. Stacey Abrams, you think she's honest? Letitia James, you think she's honest? Adam Schiff, you think he's honest? When did the Democratic Party start supporting the Cheneys? You think they're honest? Do you think Hillary Clinton is honest down in Dominican Republic? Or wherever the hell? The one next door? You do. Well, I think Donald Trump is an honorable, honest, hardworking man who's trying to make your life better, Lou. Toe cramp. All right. Would you please ask? Yeah, I'll see. It's 12 o'clock. I'll see if I can get him on because I got too worked up. And I'll ask Cam to give his new thing. I don't know if he'll pick up. Let me see if I can get him.
William, what? You calling?
I'm calling, yes. I'm live. Are you?
Yeah, I'm just on. I'll call you back in 10 minutes, all right?
Everybody's going to be mad at you. No, that's fine.
I'll be there in 10 minutes.
That's fine. All right, bye. See, I knew he was busy. I knew he was busy. To answer your question on the $2 options, I don't know which day which expiry you have, but I would go so far. Ham's not going to agree with me. I would go so far as to say, not only might you sell those because the premium is massive, but you might sell the ones you own and sell the the ones that expire in 2 weeks against some of your stock. Start taking premium in. But that's just my view. I think Finger is not going to break out like a son of a bitch. But it's risky. It's risky. I mean, this volume, not today so much. It's still decent volume. But the volume over the last week and the breaking out of Fingers, there's something going on. And you don't want to miss out on that. But I was thinking about it, Bill, this morning when I couldn't sleep. If I think I used the word yesterday, punishment. It's like I punished myself. Anyway, I know why. I wasn't going to sell in front of people, and I believed that, let's use the GTII story. I believed it was good. I thought it was in the middle of a squeeze. Anyway, I've gone through what I think happened. But by not selling, I punished myself. I have zero to show for it. I have losses. That's punishment. That's losses. It's painful. In the case of a stock going up, like FingerMotion, or like one of these others, like let's pick on one. Let's just pick one. NIXX. Let's say next week NIXX is doubles. Well, should I get all excited and say to myself, hey, I heard it could go to 30? And wait for that? Or should I sell half and get out? And then I'm only in half. And then if it goes to 30, I'm going to be sitting at a table mad. You know, I sold half my stock when it was double. And I could have held on to that and I could have made a lot more money. That's punishment too. And I was thinking, which punishment would I rather do to myself? The punishment that I don't sell anything and the stock collapses again and I freeze and I lose everything? Or do I want to do the punishment where I take my original money off the table somehow? And sure, I limit my upside and it hurts. I only made X, whatever, you know, whatever small amount. I only made X when it went to 30. I could have made more. You know, I don't know. I don't know which punishment is more desirable. But I think staying liquid is important. And my read on Finger is it's going to be a struggle to break through each of those numbers. So I would sell calls and maybe sell calls against 10 or 15% of my position just to bring in premium. But I would contradicting myself, I would probably own some of the longer term calls or be ready to buy some of the next month's calls if the stock pulls back a bit. It's just trading. It's just trading, and you can never be right. You can't get it right. But the caution with Finger is the trend in the stock is upward, and the volume has really picked up. It has broken out. And there are all these rumors that Ham talks about of major buyers. So one can see in the history of Finger, and I remember it, where it just storms out of $1, $1.50, $2, and all of a sudden it's $7. And that can happen in Finger. That can happen. It's happened before. I'll ask him, Bill. I just gave you my own opinion. Hope all's well. How is Felity removing the buy money and not front news? We all remember GameStop. Well, you know, the more I study this, unfortunately, and the more I listen to the great hardworking people on Junk Savvy's calls and Junk Savvy herself, the president I voted for, Bill Clinton, changed, or his administration changed, the Uniform Commercial Code, the UCC, in 1994 to allow banks to make your securities collateral for whatever they wanted to do. And it took a while. It took Reg Show in 2008. Reg Show is designed for the banks, not for us. Look, people get mad at me. It's very similar to a country armed to the teeth, slowly expanding its borders, sometimes with thrusts, sometimes incrementally, sometimes with an excuse. Hey, they hate us. Hey, they attacked us. Sometimes with a distraction, sometimes with obfuscation, but keep moving. We got a greater vision in mind. Just keep moving it, keep moving it, keep moving it. And over the decades, you get bigger. Well, that's what these guys have done. And I think the issue really is full disclosure. They're not disclosing it to us. But Pete, number one, Fidelity has a right to take away the buy button anytime they want to. Any brokerage firm can do that. But what Fidelity is trying to do is manage their risk. They have your collateral, your shares that you think you own. Bill Clinton's UCC, and you know the thing about Bill Clinton, I think Truth and Bill Clinton, perfect. Truth and Bill Clinton. Truth in the Democratic Party, that makes sense to me. Bill Clinton expanded the, I think he called it the Freedom of Press Act of 1992. What did it do? It reduced our number of news sources from thousands down to 6. That's Bill Clinton. But you know, Bill Clinton and Truth, bravo. You looked it up. Who controls our media now? Who controls it? Bill Clinton put Joe Biden's crime bill through. Hello?
Yes, William.
Well, you've got an audience that's sick of me and wants to hear from you.
Do you really want to hear from me? I'm out of my mind. So anyway, I'll give you an example. Number one, William, I reached out to a friend who's got great ties to the Democratic Party. I've had enough of the Republicans and no one doing anything. So let's try to get the voice of the Democrats to try to save the Democratic Party. And I don't care if they attack the Republicans at this point. I could care less. So he's going to reach out, try to get some meetings for me in D.C. And I don't care if I go to the other side. I could care less. President Trump is bragging about his new flagpoles in front of the White House. I'm worried about my family's future financially, and this guy's worried about a flagpole.
He's compensating for his small hands.
He's worried about the ticket scalpers. We're worried about, the 6 guys that are playing in women's sports. I don't care about this stuff. Every American has a financial future at risk here, and we need to get this done. So if I could start the fight, let them punch each other out, I could care less. All right? We did nothing wrong. I didn't sell any counterfeit shares. I have no sell tickets to anybody. I'm not afraid, and I'll go talk to anybody. All right? So we're going to get them. FingerMotion is just like the Anson Fund with Hindenburg or Andrew Left or Capybara. Yesterday, they were selling. They sold 74% or 73%. Almost 8 out of 10 shares yesterday that was sold was a counterfeit. Yesterday. So there's your short. And today is the attack, trying to get people to bail out. Andrew left, Hindenburg. All these guys had people shorting it before they put their fake reports out, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, these guys shorted it, and today they attack it, trying to knock it down. They knew they were planning an attack, but it's okay. We all know the attacks come. We watched it at $1.20, at $1.05. We watched them try to break it.
Yeah.
And it didn't work. Their time has passed. They had the opportunity to wipe out this company and they failed. They did it to KNW. They completely destroyed it. FingerMotion has survived it, and now they're trapped. The company, people like in the company, hurry up. Public companies can't hurry up. Making short sellers just hit a sell button like today, right? They didn't need anybody filings. They didn't need approval from anybody. Just hit the sell button from wherever they're doing it. FingerMotion has to wait for the audit to be complete. They have to wait for the year-end earnings to come out at the end of May. And that's when we'll see the dividend. We'll see how close they're getting to profitability. We're going to see what happens with the Roth research report. People keep asking me, where's that? Well, Roth Capital is Roth Capital. I'm not Roth Capital. Why is it taking so long? Maybe they're waiting for the same shit we're waiting for, the year-end earnings. I don't know. My friend works at Roth, but he's not involved in, there's a wall between him and the analyst, so he can't do anything. They don't talk. The CEO tells you he speaks to Roth and said the report's on the way. So we know there's positive news coming. The shorts know it too, and they're trapped. And every time we get it viral and people start buying it, like yesterday, they just kept plugging and plugging and plugging until all the buy orders are filled, and then they try to mark it down. Someone's yelling at me, where's my friends buying it today? Where does it say that I have to get buyers every day? Where does it? I'm the gatekeeper? I'm just trying to help people that if you do buy the stock, understanding the crime and how you're going to profit from it. That's what I'm trying to teach you. And you will profit from it. Just like Michael Burry said, I may be early, but I'm going to be right. All right? And my target, William, if they sold another 2 million in the last 2 weeks, which I went back and looked, it's just going to go higher when they cover. Anyway, where is the stock at right now, William? I don't know.
The stock is, it's 182.5. I can't tell if it's down or not. It's down 13 and a half.
We closed at 196.
All right. Relax, everyone. 182, 183.
Head fake. They opened it up at 202, and then they attacked straight down. So it went up 4 cents and then straight back down. And I told people, don't chase it, accumulate it. So people are getting good prices on their stock right now.
Well, I heard there's a big buyer that wanted a lower price, so maybe it's working to our advantage. I don't know.
Oh, no, listen, it's going to work out. I'm not concerned. Listen, I'm not concerned about it for myself. I'm trying to tell the people that are sitting here with a bag on their head that don't know what's going on. And many people don't, because I talk to people and I get questions from sophisticated brokers. Now, what does this mean? What does that mean? They don't study it like we do. We all take it for granted about what's going on. All right. So again, any questions, William?
Yeah, there are questions. One guy, Pete, is saying, how is Fidelity not removing the buy button, not front page news around the world? And I tried to answer that. Maybe you have an answer.
I have no answer for that.
One guy is asking for a GBUX update.
GBUX, I told you, once FingerMotion goes, all my money's going there. So we'll take care of that in due time. Nothing's changed there. Friends of mine buy it every day. They go near the close. We try to scoop it up and move it back up on it for them. The short you can see is out of gas there. They tried everything. And you know what? They're the ones that are short. They got to cover, and they need people to sell. That's it. There's nothing else to say.
Has the easy money been made in GDC, or with what's going on down at these $2 range? GDC.
I haven't spoke about GDC since it went to 12, and I told everyone to sell it.
Right. Okay.
If you bought the dip, you got to sit and wait. That's what I tell you. The easy money was made a long time ago.
Do you have? Has your Twitter account changed?
I changed nothing. I've been getting kicked off. Someone is hacking my account and changing my codes. Yesterday, I went to Yahoo and opened up a new email account, and I was cleared to go back on Twitter. I announced I was back. I went to the bathroom, and all my codes were changed again. And when I put in the codes, which I just took a snapshot of, so you can't say I forgot them. I put a snapshot up. I took a snapshot of the codes that I just signed up for. And all they kept telling me is Twitter, the codes don't work. They're different. Someone's changing it on me. I can't.
Maybe you need to change your email and your phone codes too.
I changed the email. I opened up a new email account. I can get in without a phone. I could do it with an email. But as soon as I got back on, it changed again.
Are you able to use your current Twitter account? Okay.
No.
Well,
I tried for 3 hours last night, every combination in the world, contacted Twitter. They said they get back to me. It's the same story again.
Did the volume?
So I parked my ass on Twitter, on Trump's site.
Yeah. Where there's going to be 2 big, beautiful flagpoles.
Right.
Do you see did the 500,000 shares that you thought was going to go through, did that go through? Is it in the volume?
They've been buying it. Over 400,000 was bought yesterday.
Okay.
Listen, people, when I tell you I'm getting buyers, they came. I told you they were coming on Monday. They did come.
Are you going to?
They sold it to all of us. What am I going to do?
Are you going to come on today? Would you sell his $2 options at a small loss, or just stay and possibly lose all?
That's up to, listen, what's the loss? What'd you pay, a dime? You sell them at a nickel? Is that what you're talking about?
Probably. He didn't say, but probably.
Just out of curiosity, he has the May calls, correct?
Yeah, May.
Is it May yet?
No.
Call me back in May.
But we're in the May cycle.
It's not even May yet.
I know. Arlen wants to know, as far as Finger is concerned, how much do you think it's worth, the value of the stock today? Not a short squeeze.
The people that I know, and I said it many times, the people I know in Asia that I actually saw again with William in New York City when they rang the bell, they believe the stock is worth 100. I'm sure they think it's higher now because the company just landed that big emergency response deal. Right?
Right.
So their business is expanding and growing. So what they thought was 100 before, maybe they think it's 150 now. Those people are not selling. That's a fact. No one's selling.
There's some things that are interesting.
All they're trying to do is to get the people that paid $2 yesterday or $2.10 to see the stock going down and say, "Oh shit, I bought this stock and it's down already." So when you get the day traders who are momentum players, they bail out, they lose a dime. That's what they're looking for. But the trade's the other way. You should be buying the dips. I said it many times, William. How do you buy a stock like this? You buy 30%, 30%, and then 40%.
So Kit says this sucker is going to go up at the speed of light. We're over the target.
That is, Kit is correct. I believe in that 100%. Keep the pressure up. If you're on Twitter, please just speak what you see. I'm not going to put words in your mouth. Speak what you see. Everyone can see the fraud. Everyone sees it. Even the president sees it. I think the problem right now is that this is going to be devastation to financial and prime brokers.
Oh, another gentleman asked, and now this one's again, and it's possible. I wanted to answer that. He asked, do you think fingers down because it's the end of the month? And I think that is a possible thing going on.
That's true. I didn't even think about it. I get tired of the end of the quarter, the end of the month.
And then Clark is saying Trump is asking for an investigation into short sellers right now.
I got, he's asking for an investigation. So Clark, all I'm trying to do is to get Trump to speak faster and more details about what's going on with this. That's all. Because otherwise, you guys want to just sit back and wait? You'd be okay with that? Me and William will just go take a break and we won't talk about anything anymore. So we're trying to force the issue ourselves.
So what are you hearing about who do you think you're fooling? HU. Any update?
Zero. I told you, when it gets to $6, sell it.
All right, it's 5:15 apparently. That's not very polite, X-Pulse. You know, one thing.
What's not polite?
He's just questioning your habits on your tablet and thinks that because of those, people in India are hacking. You know, lots of times when you accuse others of something, you're really talking about yourself.
Me?
No, this X-Pulse guy. I'm not going to read it out. I said enough on it. We need somebody who knows someone in the White House press corps to ask questions.
I know. I try. I contacted the White House. I did everything I could.
Yeah.
So we're going to put the truck out. I'm working on the signs again, William.
Yeah.
And we're going to put the truck out there. I'm just waiting for the next what do you call it? Shoe to drop, whatever you want to call it. As soon as Trump speaks or the SEC chairman speaks, the next day I'll have the truck out there using their words against them if they don't say what they're supposed to say.
Just waiting for the next teardrop to fall. Sad thing is when Trump talks of short selling, half the world will just think he's crook. People are stupid.
So here you go. So for the person who said that, okay, let's go for the Democratic Party, the other half of the world, and let's see if they'll help us out. And when they don't, then I want to see what you got to say then. I'm trying to get anybody to help out. Get the Chattering Teeth, Maxine Waters, get Pocahontas, AOC, whoever the fuck you want to get. Go get them. I'll talk to them. Go ahead.
There's a colleague of mine who started his own brokerage firm about 20 years ago. He's a Vietnam vet, good, straight shooting guy, hardworking. Anyway, he hires all female brokers. He told me that women in the United States control the majority of financial assets. So the Democratic Party should be all over this issue. Anyway, this young woman says they're trying to shake out the latecomers, and she might be right.
That's it. Whoever she is, that's brilliant. That's exactly what I'm trying to calm people down. This is just a common occurrence. This attack continues. It goes on. When they fold, you'll be very happy what's going to happen.
I guess we ran out of question.
That's it. Only one negative guy calling me a scam today. That's it.
Well, he said something else, but that's all right. He said that you're not getting enough at home, so you turn to the computer. Can someone come up on?
I sit in the computer with no clothes on every night. That's what you're talking about. I'm like the SDC. I'm on Twitter and on a porn site. That's what I do all night.
Can someone come on Fox Business and address Finger?
They won't put us on Fox. Charlie Payne, I know him very well. I know Charlie Payne from when he went public with WSST, Wall Street Strategies.
Yeah.
And they naked shorted his company to zero.
Yeah.
That's how long I know Charlie Payne. Charlie Payne has a great job. He makes $1 million a year. Do I really want to hurt Charlie Payne, who made it big from nothing? No. So I can't do that.
Pilot to the moon, month-end profit taking everywhere. Clark says
month-end profit taking the stock. The stock is up from $1.20 to $2. It's down from $7 or $10 down.
Yeah. Clark says, I think these short hedge funds are in so deep into the system, they could collapse the whole thing.
Ah, that's the problem. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And that's what we hope the Democratic Party comes in here and opens up their big, stupid mouths and basically has no idea without actually thinking about the consequences of what's going to happen. Because I think the Republicans are trying to look through this thing saying, okay, what's going to happen when we do this? Is Goldman going to get crushed? Is this going to get crushed? What are we going to do if all these people start going bankrupt? And then Trump's going to have to say, well, we're going to have to do it sooner or later, you know? I think they are leaking the information. I think some shorts are covering the bigger shorts. I think the smaller shorts that we have, I mean, the smaller players like Lynn and those characters, they're just going to get blown up. And you remember, FingerMotion gets blown up and it goes, someone's going to lose, you know, anywhere between $1 and $5 billion. That's just one stock.
Paulie wants an update on GBUX.
Yes. I've never sold a share. I'm waiting for the company to do what they have to do. And when we make money in FingerMotion, we're going to go in there and run them over. So next time it goes up, if you want to get out, you sell it back to us. I don't care.
What would you do if you sold Finger and bought GBUX, which is down, Finger is up, but you still own Finger?
Okay. What would I do if I sold one and jumped into another, right?
Yeah.
What's going to happen? The one I sell is going to go straight up, and the one I buy is going to go straight
down. It always
down.
happen that way, at least in the short run.
That's what happens.
Always happens in the short run.
Right.
So it's just part of trading. It hurts, it stings.
If you want to do it, just do it. You know, that's what's going to happen to you. So,
but you can't judge. You can't judge the decision with a month's worth of trading.
Listen, I've thrown in the towel on trading. If I wanted to, I could have sold GBUX at 10 twice. But I said I'm staying because I know I can make more money in the long run by this thing exploding to 100 to 150 bucks. Remember, I could only sell my stock one time. What if I sell it at 10, it pulled back to 7, and then it went to 70 or 100, whatever it goes to.
Right.
So there's no guarantees. You can always buy and get back in.
That's a good point.
Remember, if I sold it at 10, I make $100,000, right?
Yeah.
I got to pay 40% of it to taxes, correct?
Right.
So I'm going to make $60,000. If I held on to my 10,000 shares and sell it at 100, right?
You make
making a lot more
60,000.
money.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just saying that you make a lot more money.
The hedge funds, you know, with their high frequency trading, 60% of their trades are long-term capital gains. Bastards.
Yeah. Talk about being slanted, right?
It's all unfair. So how would you protect yourself when the hedge funds explode? They implode.
How do you protect yourself?
Yeah.
I told you that if you own pension money in the marketplace, you should be moving to the sideline. For example, if you own Costco at 500, selling it at almost 1,000, you know what? You should move to the sideline. You got to move to the sidelines because it's coming.
Kit's pointing
Listen,
out.
the market's going to get hurt. The market's going to get hurt. There's no question about it.
Kit's pointing out last year GME did a run until the new CEO dismissed the lawsuit and made a deal with the shorts. He's pointing out that's not a deal with the shorts isn't going to happen here.
That's exactly. This is what happened with GameStop. Brian Cohen was under investigation for the manipulation in Bed Bath and Beyond. He made a lot of money squeezing it, and then he sold into the hype after he pitched everyone to buy it, right?
Right.
He got busted by the SEC. What I believe happened is the SEC came to him and said, okay, cover these shorts, 140 million shares in GameStop now, and we'll let you off the hook on your Bed Bath and Beyond manipulation. And he said, done. And that's what he did. So he handled the situation. People, 140 million shares of shorts were covered. And they got a couple of $1 billion for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That for a second.
I don't agree with it.
You tell me that wasn't a prearranged trade by the SEC? He told the hedge funds, the shorts, we're going to get you stock. You better cover and stay away from this name. And that's what they did.
This guy's insistent that you talk about how they're going to put the stock market on blockchain.
I said they're going to put this, they should put the stock market on blockchain. Hey, people, this is your stock market. I didn't create this. All right? This is complete fraud created by the brokerage industry, not me. We're trying to fix it and expose it. If they do not fix it, you have to be criminally insane to play the stock market as an individual. You're going to get robbed so fast you won't even know what happened.
Benjamin points out that somebody bought 16,600 shares of Finger and it didn't move the price.
Yeah. I know a guy yesterday, I told you, a guy I played pickleball with, he went to buy 10,000. He was at Schwab, he bought 25,000 and he bought it all at $1.96. They hit him in a second. So yesterday was sell all you can and make sure the stock doesn't go up. And you sit there, how do you know that? Well, we saw the data. It's right there. I'm not making it up. It's right there. The U.S. government is very concerned about what? Counterfeit money. Look at Andrew Left. He did a beautiful story about a counterfeit T-shirt, and Etsy lost 50% of its value over that story, over a counterfeit T-shirt. How can you tell a shirt is a counterfeit? Unless it was an inside job.
This guy David just points out he was an original Torchlight buyer, and Finger, he's saying he's wiped out. Well,
listen, Torchlight will do that to you. Torchlight went straight down.
yeah.
Unless he held on and made money on the squeeze, otherwise he was a loser, right?
Yeah. It's not over with Finger. I don't know what to tell you about MNTLP. I'm not as optimistic as everybody else that there's going to be a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. But I own it. I lost money in it.
Hey, people, MMTLP, I'm with you. But get your fat asses out of your chairs. Get 10 of you. Go stand in front of the SEC. Bang a drum with your signs.
Yeah.
It's your money. Fight for it.
Do you
Posting
think
on Twitter ain't going to cut it.
Do you think they'll reinstate the uptick rule?
I have no idea. Forget the uptick rule. Just settle the trades. I don't care about daily manipulation. I can deal with that. And no one will manipulate if they know they have to cover in one day. So stock settlement is the most important thing. So I keep trying to tell you, don't get consumed with payment for order flow, dark pools, this pool, that thing, this. Stock settlement. What we buy today, all trades must settle. End the conversation. That's it.
Brew Crew.
All that other stuff will go away.
Brew Crew just got off the phone with Fidelity, was able to buy 500 shares, speaking with the representative.
Right.
Yesterday,
I could put a guy on the phone who spoke with Fidelity yesterday, and they told him they want to make sure that they buy FingerMotion, that you buy it and you're protected because they're buying it for you. I told him to call him back up.
It's mighty white.
And he's going to go down to his Fidelity office and say to them, "Hey, if you buy me Apple, and you're going to protect me from losing money, are you going to protect me from losing money if I buy Apple? Because obviously Apple goes up and down like any other stock. Why are they only doing it to FingerMotion? They're trying to slow the buying down."
This representative said Fidelity's doing it because of stock manipulation, that they're taking phone calls. God.
Stock manipulation. Yeah, we're manipulating the stock. If we were so good at pumping it, dumping it, how come we can never go the stock go up? Right?
You got a good question there.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna pump up the stock. How good am I doing? Yeah, I started at 2. It's 180 now. I'm down 20% for me pumping it up.
I'm gonna pump up the volume.
Yeah, we're good at that.
I'm gonna pump up your volume.
People, we're here trying to expose the crooks. If we do not get it done shortly, it'll never happen. And I advise you to sell everything you have. And since the SEC and Trump are all into crypto, you might as well go gamble there. Or we can go to the Cayman Islands, open up an LLC, and start naked short selling.
Let's stop talking about it. Let's do it.
Yeah,
Let's do it. Let's get
nothing more to make 100,000 a day.
Let's do it
It's gonna be easy.
Let's get cameras on us, and we'll televise it to the SEC as we're doing it. Say, hey,
right.
We're not hiding it. We're just doing what you allow. What's that group, Black Tower, to do all day long?
Right. If you read details of that story, they have accounts in the Caymans and all over the British Virgin Islands. They have accounts down there too. So obviously we know that's a hotspot for naked short selling, right? All these offshore funds.
Yeah.
Those two nice gentlemen from Dubai naked shorting into the US. You can't make a short in Dubai. How come they can do it in the U.S.? I got me. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that might be. Anyway, Kit's agreeing with you. DW's saying that maybe they're trying to rebalance the margin accounts and see what they have left. Yeah, it could all be all of that. But
listen, Fidelity is the largest retail brokerage firm in the world. And they made a statement that there's fraudulent activity, manipulation in the stock. Now,
that's interesting.
It ain't me doing it. I ain't selling anything. What about the second part of that question? Who do you think's manipulating the stock? Can someone ask him that?
Well,
I told you what Schwab told people, don't buy this stock and don't listen to people on Twitter. That's what Schwab told my friend.
Well, Wall Street just wants you to buy a mutual fund, buy money management, buy an ETF, and just go away for 10 years while they trade against you, skimming all your equity. They just want to eat. They want to eat all the muscle off of the bones, the fat,
Pat
the
Burns
muscle.
said it. What did Pat Burns say? It's like on a fish tank, like a little faucet. They just keep draining a little. They keep letting it drip out, and the pennies keep coming out.
And this is what I hate to say it. This is what the last 45 years of the political system that we have has allowed to happen. And you can judge if America's better off for it. I don't think we are.
Well, that's the good news, is that this crime was created by the SEC, FINRA, the NASDAQ. They allowed it to happen, and now we can get rich over them allowing this to happen. So there you go.
Yeah.
I can't look at a computer because I'm driving, so just ask me a question.
Well, Finger is down still.
179 to 180.
Yeah, still down. 180 and 410,000 shares.
William, they crossed over 100,000 at 185, William. So they knocked that down from 400 to 300. How many more were crossed? Today was a naked short and cross day, washing trades to create volume. That's
and they just they're not only in Finger. Well, maybe that, but Anson Funds isn't only in Finger short. So they just sell. It's just constant. It's like the wind on Puerto Rico when you're there. It never stops blowing. Just was selling, never stops selling.
And this is the same pattern that's been on for a while. It's not like it just happened yesterday.
No. So there don't seem to be more questions.
Isn't it strange that the market goes up, it stocks down like FingerMotion, can't move up a quarter or half a dollar? Isn't it crazy? It can't hold its move. If you wanted to sell it at $1.80, why'd you let it go to $2? Right?
Exactly.
Today they sold it down as though they wanted to sell it at $1.80. So isn't it strange that they're pushing it down? Well, they're pushing it down because of the margin. What's 20 cents on 250 million shares? That's all you need to know. That's why they're doing it. Listen, the people on the short side are having a tough time. They're having a tough time. They're sitting here in a panic. Think about what they're doing. We all think they're sitting there having a good time. They know they're in trouble. And if they're on this call, we all know you're in trouble. You're going to jail. We all know it. The brokers, Benchmark, the broker network. Remember, the paper trade, the trail doesn't go away. All the sell tickets, the wiring of the money equals RICO, equals criminal charges. Just like that fat guy from Morgan Stanley. I naked shorted every day. He belongs in jail for saying that statement. Right? Think about that. We can go out there and say, I naked shorted every day. I stole money every day from the stock market.
Citibank has experienced a nationwide outage. 200 million people use Citibank.
Wow.
I don't know what's going on. We've encountered an issue and we're working to fix it.
Pay the electric bill. I don't know.
All right, let's see.
You know what naked short selling is and buying the stock in? It's basically a run on the bank.
Yeah, that's right.
So when they have to settle the trades, it's going to be a run on the bank.
That's right.
Only thing is going to be good for us.
Can you, Eddie wants to know, can you explain the January 2nd calls sold? Are those?
Yeah. I think that's a cross with the shorts. And I think that they're using that as a way to create stock.
Synthetic
600
shares.
calls. Yeah. Because that's what the short, they're hiding it out in a further month out. If you notice, it's a 50-cent option versus a nickel option, right?
Right.
They need to get the stock down below $2. So they created stock by doing that option trade with themselves. Think about it. They get in an account to buy 600 calls at 50 cents, $30,000, right?
Yeah.
Then they convert the call they convert it into stock. And they sell the stock at the market. That's all they're doing.
So GBUX will survive April. Seems similar pattern in March. What happens Thursday, which is May? I don't know. I can't predict. This guy logged into his Citi account, no problem. So I guess Daily Mail is wrong.
You got the computer. I'm just sitting driving.
Yeah. Just seeing if there's any. Somebody made a good point about that Deion Sanders kid. Who wants all that drama in the locker room?
Well, that's what happened. Why is DJT down $1?
You didn't hear?
No.
When you match Trump and truth, it's oxymoronic. So it's down $1.
But
I don't know why it's down. They've turned everything into a ping pong ball. These geniuses go long and short with leverage, and
remember, they got leverage 10-1, and you have to put up your money.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but that's what they do. They just got more leverage. Someone's allowing them to go on. We just got to fight it out. Listen, they want to push it down. They did it before. They have to sell more shares. We're not going away. This story is not going away.
Right.
I told you before, they had their opportunity and they failed.
Right.
They could have knocked the company out, but they failed.
Yeah.
If they knocked the company out, like KNW, they drove the stock from $1 to 2 cents. They reversed it back up to 3, and it's back to 50 cents again, or whatever, it's 40 cents. That's killing the company. They couldn't do it here. Now the company holds the upper hand. The only thing the company doesn't hold is they can't move fast enough. You don't think they see the attacks?
You're getting a lot of messages. I can't read them for you.
No, I'm driving. I can't look. I'm just waiting on you, William.
Seems like all the questions. I'm not creative enough to come up with more.
Remind everybody of Fidelity. And again, people don't understand. I was in GameStop at $3.75, $4. I didn't buy it at $3.75 and then just watch it go to 500 in a day. It went up, pulled back down, went up, went down, went down, went up, went down, went up and down. It went up and down like a yo-yo for a while. And then one day it started to take off. That's how it works. Nothing goes up in a straight line, nothing goes down in a straight line. And people need to understand that.
Finger 179.9.
I said that before, 179.
Yeah. So we're just watching paint dry now.
That's what they want you to do. They want you to get discouraged. And that's why we have these calls. We have these calls because people get discouraged. Oh, what is this piece of shit? It's going back down again. I thought it was going, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
We want it to go up, but unfortunately, we can't just make it go up. We should just become stock manipulators. But if you're a stock manipulator, we need money to buy the stock. I don't have any money, so what am I going to manipulate? Correct? I don't have it.
I don't know what you're going to manipulate. 2 puppy dogs.
Oh, God. I've been up since 5 o'clock with them.
Well, yelling at them in an unpredictable way is not training.
Well, unfortunately, William, I don't have the money to pay for a trainer.
You can do
And
it.
that's how my parents trained me that way. Get over here, you idiot. Now look how nice I turned out, right? Where's Barbara? She's not here today.
Barbara said hi to you, and she's always here.
I didn't hear from her. Barbara, I need to hear you say it every day, Barbara.
She says, how's it hanging? She would never say that.
She said that?
No, she never said that. She never said that.
Barbara's hanging to the left.
One in front of the other for speed. That's what a friend of mine always said. He's 80 years old. I can imagine how fast he was.
Barbara, I'm trying as hard as I can, as fast as I can, to expose these criminals. These people are a cancer to society. Why the U.S. government, the SEC, DOJ, the Secret Service, the FBI, people at the Southern District have never even spoken up about it? It's just amazing. Amazing. I got it. Trump's doing a lot. He's got the whatchamacall, blah, 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 the MS-13. He's closing up the border. I got it. It's all great. I'm happy about that. But I'm not happy if I have no more money left. What good is it? I'm not 20 years old. We all need our money.
That's true.
That's just how it goes. You know, we need our money.
You're not 20 years old.
We need to get our money. We're all trying to make money to make our lives better. I told you I got plenty of things wrong in my house I got to fix. Like everyone else. We postponed it because we're trying to use money to make money. Yep. I don't want to use my money to give it to Jeff Easton and his fucking crooked friends because they're thieves and scumbags. That's not what I wanted to do with my
money. Why is Fidelity placing a limit on selling? I didn't know they are, but maybe they are.
Fidelity's placing a limit on selling? That's
what Ramon says. Yeah.
I don't know what that means, Ramon. I have no idea what that means. I think Fidelity wants you to sell.
Trump media said, you know, they're disconnected from truth. Trump media says Senator Warren has protected hedge funds and naked short sellers. That's interesting.
Yes, they have. So Christian Shaughnessy did a great job and posted that. That is correct. So if anybody knows Pocahontas, whoever her name is, Warren, I'll go see that bag of bones. I'll go see her. I'm sure it'd be like talking to the wall, but I'll go talk to her.
I can't talk about that live. Come on, Ham. Goldman Sachs' biggest source of revenue is stock loan. You think Donald Trump is going to go against Goldman Sachs?
No, I agree with you. So sell your stock and go short. People, we're going to force the issue in FingerMotion and GBUX. We got a special dividend come out in GBUX on May 15th. We will have one in FingerMotion. And behind that, we have other corporate strategies that we can do. All right, we just can't move fast enough when companies have to do audits and things like that. That's just the way it goes. But we're not going away. If they want to sell it lower, you know what? Unfortunately, if they want to push it down, we'll just buy more at a cheaper level. We're not going away. Other companies are standing there with their finger up their ass, like CHRS, will get wiped out, and that'll be the end of these guys. They'll lose whatever technology they have, whatever medical things they're looking to do. They'll get wiped out, and that'll be the end of them. Like CELU, they've been reversed already. XXII, you know, you name it. Northwest Bio on the verge of a breakthrough on their cancer treatment, on the verge of a breakthrough on their spoofing case. It has 1.5 billion shares in the float. They're on the verge of what? They have to make $1.5 billion. They need to make a lot of money because they let the naked shorts destroy their company. That guy waited 10 years too long. I hope he makes it because I know people with cancer. But as far as protecting you as a shareholder, he didn't give a shit about you. Les Goldman and that other woman, Susan or whatever her name was, or Linda something.
Tripp?
I forgot it. Linda, I met both of them. Give me a break. They're speaking up now after 10 years of diluting the stock. We got 1 billion shares, 1.5 billion shares.
Barbara says, we know you were trying. She lives in Massachusetts. She'll try to get into the fake Indian.
Oh, that's good. I'll come up there and see that rag.
Yeah, they're all part of this.
Here's my brother. You ready? I'm going to read you a text of my brother. Hey, I hope all is well. Can I send you something that I think you might be interested in and can make a lot of money with? Let me know, and I'll text it to you. You know what I told him? No, thank you. Get lost. I don't want any more money. Leave me alone. I don't want nothing to do with anything. I picked my fight. I'm staying to the end, and that's what I'm doing. I don't want to know anything else. And that was for my brother. Anything else, William?
No, nothing else.
Yes, I don't want to hear any other ideas. I don't want to make a penny. I don't want to know anything. I don't want another headache. I want to finish what I started 25 years ago. That's what I want to do. And then I'm going to get surgery and become a woman. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go join a swim meet at a college and go in last place in the pool. I almost drowned.
Well,
I have to go to the supermarket to get some pumpkin because one of the puppies has a little
diarrhea.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing now. See, it's not all fun in the sun every day, running around doing stuff. So now I'm handling this call in the supermarket, William. Looking for pumpkin in a can.
It's there.
Any other questions?
No.
Come on, people. It's beautiful out today. Yesterday I played Padel. And let me tell you something. That is a super hard game. And I think my time has passed for me to play that game. Very fast. What else I got, William?
Nothing. That's
99.
Where's the stock at?
nothing new. Let me tell you where the stock is. Oh, God. When are Fingers earnings scheduled?
May 31st, I think.
Can't
Please insert one.
even look on Yahoo Finance. The stock is...
Wait. Let me just stop that gentleman for a second. So, people, you don't understand that Wall Street has created this system, and everyone is the data on all these platforms is different everywhere. So the system that has been created by Wall Street, and everyone like CNBC has different data than this guy and that guy. So when you look at information about a public company, call the CEO up and speak to the IR firm and get the information from, because everyone has a different number or different information. And that's been a problem for a long time. And if you speak with John Forrester, I believe John Forrester, the guy that's going to take over GTI, he will tell you about the discrepancies of information between the platforms. Yahoo, MSNBC, CNBC, Fox, Bloomberg, everyone's got different numbers. So when you want to get the information on a public company, call their IR firm and get the information. They're not going to bite you. They'll answer the phone.
E-Trade says it's May 28th, which matches Yahoo.
All right, so that's some places have it, some have it wrong. Call up. No one's going to bite you. I keep telling people that. Don't be afraid. No one's going to bite you. Oh, I called the company up. They're going to yell at me. No one's saying anything. So I have the pumpkin for the puppy. So I did my chore for the day. I did 2 chores already, 3 chores.
No pumpkin. No
It is
sugar.
beautiful outside, boy.
Yeah, I'm going to go outside.
It's beautiful. People, listen, stocks go up and down. Unfortunately, we don't have a stock that's going up and down. We have a stock that's being manipulated down. People that bought the stock yesterday, I probably know 60% of it, that volume. And I'll speak with them throughout the day and calm them down, and I'll get them to buy more. That's it. You bought 10,000, buy another 1,000, buy another 2,000. Tell your cousin. That's all. Just keep going, get it viral, and that's it.
Is there anything regarding May 12th? I guess that's the SEC banning short selling rumor.
Yes, that's the rumor that we've heard from good people that's coming on that around that time. Hey, listen, with Donald Trump's stock going down, that's the best thing that could happen to us. Keep pissing on Donald Trump like I'm doing. I don't care. Donald Trump lives in the richest place. He has the best of everything. His time frame of getting things done is very different than us. And if anyone wants to know, I know nothing about the crypto thing that people told me to get involved with. I haven't heard anything yet. So if I hear something, I'll let you know. Someone asked me that question before. So I was in this facility, which has very severely handicapped people with spinal injuries, strokes, all this type of stuff. And I was talking to the gentleman, a black guy. He's in a wheelchair, paralyzed. And he says that he needs to get, I asked him if he was ever in the robot. He said no. He said he needs to get more PT, but the insurance won't give it to him, or they don't have time because there's so many people. And I was explaining what I do. And, what we do would help those people who are injured get more physical therapy, get more usage, get to use the machinery that's been developed to help people walk again. When you're in a wheelchair for life, I think you want to see things happen, right? Not the short sellers, they don't care. Their family members don't get hurt. And that's what I keep trying to tell you guys. The people that moan are people here trying just to trade and make a profit. We are trying to make money and change the system. Changing the system will change everyone's life for the better. Smaller companies will hire people. Do you know I have a young kid? It's brilliant. We're trying to get an internship on Wall Street. And no one is even letting people come as an intern for free. They don't want you in their buildings. How's that one? Growing up, William, there used to be interns all the time, right?
Yeah.
No one understands Wall Street because no one teaches it anymore.
They don't.
Young kid wants to go to Wall Street for free. We'll travel for free, work for free. I called up 6 firms that I know, and they're not bringing anybody into their buildings. No, thank you. We can't
He's
do it.
better off becoming a plumber or electrician.
Well, I didn't want to tell him that, but that's true.
Or a steel worker.
My daughter's husband, he's an electrician, contractor.
Mm.
He probably makes $250,000 a year. He breaks his ass. He comes home. He goes out on jobs, private jobs, whatever. He's got a beautiful car, got money all the time, no headaches, and he just does what he does. We break our ass, and I'm losing all my money. Trying to protect all. They all put their money in these pensions. I keep telling them they get robbed. Just look at the Wall Street. We have index funds that you can go straight up, that match an index. Then you got 2 times faster, 3 times faster for leverage. All in the name of trying to make more or lose more faster. Think about that.
It's all printed money, and it's a bad allocation of our brain power and our resources.
That's it. We all sit around talking about stock settlement every day. For what? What does stock settlement got to do with Northwest Bio working on cancer? Well, obviously,
Or
stock
a
settlement
new
controls the
generation
company.
of batteries or a new generation of energy.
Whatever it is, it controls whether you live or die. Stock settlement.
But you got to make sure that Philip Valier can afford
Right.
his kids'
Well, he's going to be
education.
thankful that he got the opportunity to invest in your company before it goes to zero. They're up 220%. Every company they fund, it goes straight down. Yeah, that's normal.
Is Fidelity selling to retail investors counterfeit shares
No.
of Finger
No,
now that we have to call in?
no. Fidelity's buying you counterfeit shares because they don't do any legwork to make sure that the trade's settled. Fidelity probably has zillions of shares that are unsettled. But instead of calling and getting delivery of the shares like they're supposed to, they're making it harder for you to buy the stock.
Rebecca, apparently you have to call into Fidelity. You can't buy online.
Fidelity's gone back 100 years, going backwards.
No.
Everything about Wall Street is speed, 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 speed.
That's all Ken Griffin.
Now it's slow it down. Make it slower. We're going too fast. Go slower now. How'd that happen?
Can the shorts at Finger get away with it like the Kramers did
The Kramers didn't get away with it.
on GTII? They seem to.
No, you guys don't think the game's over yet. It's not over yet.
Okay.
If the Kramers are going to get away, I would have never helped to get another company in here to take over. Go listen to John Forrester. Great guy.
Kit says, watch the movie Margin Call.
You know, I see it all the time. I haven't seen it. There was one movie. Is that when the guy gets in the car with the gun? They stop shorting my stock. I forget.
No, I don't think that's it. That's when he said, you can be first, you can cheat, or you can be smarter. I like to be first. Giuseppe thinks you should copy Don Jr. and JD Vance when you tweet.
Yeah, you know what? I keep forgetting to do that. You know, guys, when I put these things up, I'm just shooting from the hip as fast as I can.
And he thinks Twitter is better than Truth Social for reach.
I know, but they keep kicking me on. I tried to get on 3 hours yesterday. I did it last night again. I tried to do it before. I don't understand it.
Hawkeye says another day.
If anybody wants to give me their codes, I will take over your Twitter account. It'll be away from me. Just give me your information. I will 100% do it. My kids won't let me do it because they use Twitter and whatever. I can't. I don't have access to it.
Hawkeye says another day, another dollar lost. My suggestion, Hawkeye, sell your positions. You won't lose another dollar.
There you go, Hawkeye. Congratulations. And when your kids or your family members get robbed, remember you were cheering it on, Hawkeye. You were happy about it. Well, we're fighting for you. You're sitting here crying like you're the only guy who's losing a penny. Nice job, Hawkeye. You know what? If we were in a war, you know what? I'd have Rosenberg on my side than you. At least he's a man of honor. You're the first guy who's going to run from the front line. Listen, I got it. If you're not happy, don't call in, because we say the same shit every day. Don't call in. Go do something else and go away. That's all. We didn't call you up. You called us. Listen, people can say, I bought the stock. I don't know you. Tell me where I entered the order where I told you to buy it, and I came to your house and I put you. Once you hit that button, a friend of mine told me this. My old friend from Lehman. He says, once you hit that button and you buy the stock, it's on you. We're teaching you the education. We're giving you the bullets to understand the crime. What's the risk reward? What's the risk reward on Apple when they come out with a new phone? It's either going to be good or bad, right? If we were the experts on Apple, wait, let me just change that story for a second. I have two friends and their cousin.
I have one.
And their cousin, okay, is the chairman of NIXX. And 100 years ago, when the stock was $6, these two idiots decided to write negative stories about their cousin because they didn't like their cousin. They said he was an idiot.
Idiot.
And I was there with them, and they were shorting their own cousin's stock.
Idiots.
And they came from a very wealthy family.
Idiots.
These idiots were betting against this company, his cousin. It became one of the most powerful companies in the world.
Idiots.
And these idiots were shorting it, and their mom and the cousins, they were sisters. They created a big fight in the family, but these idiots couldn't pick any other stock. They decided to tell people to short NIXX.
Idiots.
Based on their cousin. So, you know what? There's many things that happen in this world, but we're trying to show you exactly what is a crime that I had nothing to do with. I taught myself in understanding it, and I'm fighting it. Now, I've had wins, and I had losses. I never said I was perfect, but I am trying my best to make it happen. So to the gentleman that's crying that he lost, you know what? It's like going to Atlantic City. All right, either you put more money on the table or you pick up the phone and you lose. Unfortunately, that's how it goes. If you really want to do something, instead of crying, get in your car, drive to your local FBI office. They're all over the place. Go tell them exactly what you're hearing, what you see. In your words, you want to blame us, send them to us. I don't care. Do whatever you like. But do something. Telling us that you're pissed off that you're losing, another day, another dollar, call them up. We're not the ones stealing your money. They are. Lynn Partners' office is on Madison Avenue. You live in New York, in New Jersey, or Long Island, wherever you are, Connecticut. Madison Avenue. Go ring on their doorbell. They're right there. Go meet them all. They're right there.
Good gosh.
Do something. That's all. I don't ask you. You don't have to be nice to me. I don't give a shit. Call up. Call whoever you like. Call the president. Call the White House. But do something. Be a man about it. Not just sit here and throw stones. Barbara's not throwing stones. She's not winning, I'm sure. We're all not winning. And she's sitting there. She's not saying anything. She comes here because she wants to get maybe one more piece of information that would help her decide what to do. That's what she's trying to do. That's what everyone's trying to do. We're all looking for that missing piece. What are we missing? Well, the only thing I know we're missing is that we have the SEC looking the other way, and we have the President of the United States. He's tiptoeing around the subject. He's throwing things out there half-assed. How about it, President Trump? Why don't you come out there and say, hey, anyone who gets caught selling counterfeit shares is going to jail? Pretty easy statement.
Bill Miko's going to try to meet with Don Jr. in Phoenix, and he'll talk to him about it.
That's what I want to hear. Try anybody. But do something. I can't get to Phoenix. I don't have enough money to travel around the globe.
By the time I get to Phoenix, she'll be rising.
What song was that?
She'll see the note I posted on her door.
But that's all we can do, people. We're trying our best. We're just two old fools that understand the crime. I've never seen it before where we can whistleblow, yell about fraud, if I found someone they found that woman's pocketbook. What's that lady's name who's in the government?
Okay.
She had a pocketbook stolen
No.
with $3,000. Yeah, well, that's that lady's name. And
I
she had
walked
money.
by that place the other day. That it's a burger joint.
Oh, I don't know.
I
She had
forget
a
the name.
pocketbook stolen, and they caught the guy within 3 days. Boy, it's funny how when they want to get somebody, they get you, right?
Yeah.
How could they not find Jeff Easton? We got his face planted right outside the
Jeff
front door.
Easton adds a lot of value to society.
Right.
He's happy all the time. He's fat because he can eat all he wants.
That's right.
I bet he.
Mama Cass ham sandwich so he could choke on it.
I know he doesn't pay any taxes, but at least he probably pays some sales taxes.
Well, again, I told you before, getting the money from them, take it from the rich and give it to the poor, instead of one person with $1 billion running around spending, $1,000, $2,000 on dinner. Imagine having 200,000 people spending $200,000.
No, it's better this way. It's much better this way. We're protecting this guy. He learned how to trade by trading Yahoo. He's a valuable addition to society's productivity.
Right.
And Philip Valier, oh my gosh, that's a talent.
I'll tell you, that guy's close. I'm telling you, he's this guy from Toronto.
He's close to Moez.
Yeah, 100%. I think he's the connection between Jeff Easton and the Anson Fund.
Could you imagine having to sit down and have a drink with Moez Kassim? That must be.
Oh, he must have thought his shit didn't stink.
Oh my God, this guy is great. He's showing us how to do this. They probably speak in French. Ugh.
Going around town, bragging who he is.
Now
he's going to go to jail for life. Over what? So to get a bigger stake? Remarkable. You know what? We all see criminals every day stealing. We always read about the poor people stealing, right? They're stealing for a reason. Some steal for. I watched the story, and I think it was on. I think I bumped into it on YouTube. A homeless guy in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, and he never said anything, and people didn't know him, but he was very quiet. And one day he didn't eat in 5 days. He stole a loaf of bread.
Jean Valjean.
He stole a piece of bread, and the owner of the place had him arrested. They took him downtown, and he had to go to his court appearance, and the judge's name was Carmichael. And in the middle of the hearing, he looked up. He didn't know the gentleman, but he knew the name. He stopped the court. He went into the back, and he did some research to see who this guy was. It turns out it's the guy who saved his life in Afghanistan or Iraq.
Wow.
He carried him 2 miles.
Wow.
He was wounded.
Wow.
The guy carried him 2 miles on his back, and he was wounded, the guy.
And we don't have money for vets, but we have money for illegal immigrants.
He was a vet that was homeless. He saved 17 other soldiers. The commander, they all came down when they figured out who he was. They postponed the case for 1 day. He wasn't getting his benefits anymore. The government wasn't sending his benefits.
Yeah, that's because Donald Trump is a liar. Oh, wait a minute. Donald Trump's on the side of the vets.
So this poor guy, the judge knew him. The commanding officer remembered him. He saved 17 people, including the commander's son.
Amazing.
He drove a burning truck away, got burned.
Oh, amazing.
To save all the troops
while
they were under heavy fire.
Amazing.
He saved everybody. Got the Purple Heart, this, that, and the other thing. And here's this guy in court that we're trying to put him in jail for stealing a piece of bread. Until the judge figured out who he was. The government owed the guy like $300,000 in his compensation. The VA wasn't treating him. It was just insane. I watched the whole thing for 25 minutes. I couldn't believe it. But that's what this country's about. It's just sick. And meanwhile, we got these people robbing everybody's money, walking around as though they're heroes. And here's a hero treated like garbage.
Yeah.
Treated like garbage.
Can you explain the finger bid ask? I'm seeing 1,191 bid at 168.
What?
I'm seeing 1,191 bid
178.
at 168. All right, maybe 178. And 26 ask at 196. 8 items after.
Nah, you watch it. You don't have a real time quote. You have some other quote there. The inside market in the stock is probably 178 to 181, something like that, or 179 to 181, or 180.
Finger just put out a statement Martin Shen will be discussing on 5/7. I don't know what he'll be discussing. It's Skyline's signature. It's their investment banking group. I mean, investment awareness.
What?
He's gonna do an interview with Skyline interviewer on 5/7.
So your company, listen, the CEO who speaks all the time is a sign that the company's doing very well. And you can sit there and say, oh, you got to be, how do you know that? Well, if you were the CEO of a public company, you aren't doing well. Would you like to get out there and talk every day? William?
If I were a CEO
With a failing business,
with a failing business,
would you go out there and make public statements every day?
probably not.
Nobody would.
My lawyer would say, don't do it.
That's exactly what they would say. Don't you dare, because if you make one statement and someone buys it, okay, and someone buys it and they lose money, they're going to hold it against you. You can't make a statement like that, William. Don't say anything.
If I
Don't talk to anybody.
If I told you you had a beautiful body, would you hold it against me? This is going to be 5/7, so I think you have your first clue when the earnings are going to be announced. It'll be before 5/7.
Oh, there you go. That's all right. That's 5/7.
Any idea what it's about?
Yes, it's about the earnings.
He's probably going to be talking about Seattle baseball.
Come on, people. Listen. William just said he read it from Skyline. What could we possibly know what he's going to say if we just found out about it 1 second ago? All of us on the same line. How could you answer? I don't want to be, that just shows you're a novice. And I got it. You want to get answers to questions. I got it. But my Lord, that's a stupid question.
Glenn Campbell sang it, but the guy that wrote it was Johnny Webb, somebody Webb. And the best version of it was Isaac Hayes, By the Time I Get to Phoenix. If you haven't listened to Isaac Hayes' version of By the Time I Get to Phoenix, grab yourself a drink and sit down for 20 minutes. You'll love it.
I'm thinking of Billy Preston. Yeah, you're saying Isaac Hayes.
Billy Preston was great. He played with the Beatles. He played.
Yeah. I watched him on YouTube last night singing an old George Harrison song. He was great.
Something in the way. I remember Billy Preston and his music when we were young. Jimmy Webb. It's Jimmy Webb. Thank you, Paul. Jimmy Webb. You're right, Jimmy Webb. If finger squeezes, will crypto sell off so that shorts could cover this? What? I don't know. I guess. Yeah.
Do you think that the shorts in this stock are got a big hit crypto hedge?
I don't know, but he's.
The only thing that's got a hedge on here is Jeff Easton holding a stake at Peter Luger's on layaway. That's about it.
And Buckingham Palace has a hedge going all the way around it.
Yeah, that's it. You're talking Citadel, Virtue, those guys do that stuff. These big firms, Jane Street, they do that stuff. These other guys don't do that. They're just straight, naked short. And that's why you don't see the algorithm trading it here. Algorithm trading, people. When you see a stock that has 1 million shares in the float, and the next day it trades 40 million shares, that's an algorithm, people. FingerMotion doesn't have an algorithm, as you can see if you look.
You know, I'm starting to think that Bernie Sanders was correct about that. They should just tax high frequency trading, tax the F out of it. And I'll
Of course
stop.
they should. Why is it? Why did it have any advantage?
I don't know why, as a society, and oh, it's Donald Trump's fault. No, it's the Democrats and the Republicans, primarily the Democrats. It's the banks controlling our government to get these kind of benefits. Why? So your 401k goes up 9% instead of 8%? Try to sell it out. You know, by the time the market crashes, if it ever does, your 401k is not going to get the high price or the medium price.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, an old friend of mine just texted me, talk about force protection. I will talk about force protection. Back in 2000 something, I can't remember the dates anymore, I found a military company that made a truck that when it drives over the landmines, the explosions will go to the sides, like a V-shaped bottom. Before that,
That's like my last girlfriend, a V-shaped bottom.
So what we had before were these HVs, these Hummers that had a flat bottom. So when they drove over our mine, all our soldiers were getting blown up underneath and losing their legs and their lives, which is a great thing to happen. If it was your child, right? You want to see that happen, right? Hey, here's your son. He's in a box. He's got no legs, and this is your son. This is your son, thanks to naked short sellers. Or we can have this force protection truck that has a V-shaped bottom. They could drive over it when the bombs blow up. The explosions go out to the sides, and the people in the truck don't get killed. But no, someone decided that we needed to short this stock. We don't want our soldiers to survive. We want to send your kids home with no legs and dead. Pat Byrne did the
As
story
long
on
as
it.
Jeff Easton can take his wife out.
Right. And it was a military company that got destroyed from 30 down to $3. And I believe it was either General Dynamics or Northrop Grumman bought them. And they took the company private at $5.25. So these guys who developed this truck, all that technology, everything they did, all the shareholders lost everything and got taken out at $5. And you consider that a win. Imagine if my company that I invested was acquired by one of the biggest defense contractors in the world. Unfortunately, they took us out for no money. And that's what happened. It went from 30 to 2, acquired at $5. On the nose, you can go look at it yourself. They stole the technology from these poor guys, and they lost everything.
Schwab's phones are down, by the way.
So Schwab's phone is down. But anyway, so that's what they did.
So who made the money in that situation?
The short sellers, they drove it down.
Yeah, but who took the technology? Sorry.
Either Northrop Grumman or
Northwest Grumman, okay.
One of the two. You could probably Google it and you could see who it was.
Unbelievable.
And Pat Byrne did the story. He ran with it, put it up on deep capture. And it shows how,
Middle Ground says General Dynamics, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't sure which one it was. At $5.39 or $5.50, something like that. Down from 30. This company should have been taken over at 100.
Yeah.
But the shorts destroyed it. They couldn't care less. The company wanted to raise money to build more trucks, and they were not able to because they couldn't do a secondary. GameStop did plenty of secondaries, and what did they do with the money? Nothing. They're going to buy Bitcoin. Ryan Cohen raised $5 billion for his new business plan. What is that? Oh, I'm going to buy Bitcoin.
So his Bitcoin has to go up by 5 times just to be equivalent to the premium that you're paying for his stock. But hey, keep buying it.
He needed to build a business. He needs to build a business. Show the world. Hire 1,000 people, 2,000 people. Do something. But it's not easy to build a business. It's not easy to get contracts. What if he puts money to work and it fails and he loses $1 billion or $2 billion? So he's doing the safest thing. He's going to buy Bitcoin because it's an unknown. He can buy some at 90,000. He can buy some at 80. He can buy it at 100, and he can always turn it into a winner if he tiptoes into it, right?
Yeah.
What I bought at 90, if it's down 10,000, I'll buy it 80. When it bounces back to 85, he can sell the 90 and the 80 purchase at 85 and break even. And restart again. What'd you do? We made a little money. We didn't lose a lot. That's what he's doing instead of building a business. FingerMotion is building a business. They have contracts that meet. They have big partners. They're doing stuff. It takes time to build a business, right? If Ryan Cohen, who has billions, if he were to start a business, he can't open it up in one day. He's doing the only thing that he can open up in one day. He opens up a crypto account and he buys crypto. And everybody applauds him for doing that. What did he do? He did nothing. Nothing. He covered the shorts, and now he didn't build a business. He's buying Bitcoin. And people tell me I should be buying the stock. And I said, you're out of your mind. And I'm not a short seller by any means. So that's how I look at the world. I told you about the force protection. They killed soldiers, not foreign soldiers, our soldiers. And I'm sure someone on this phone has a relative or someone whose son was in one of those Humvees. When he went over the mine, it blew off his legs, and it crippled him or killed him. And the hedge fund made money, and they couldn't kill us. Instead of building 100 trucks or 500 trucks, they only had enough money to build 20 or 30 of these trucks, and they weren't able to raise more capital because they shorted the stock from 30 down. If you go to deep capture, you can just Google force protection, and you'll see the story with the dead bodies on a plane with the American flag over their coffins. And if I sent that to every military leader, not one person ever responded.
They all get payouts when they retire. They all get board seats.
You asked me what I was doing. I'm telling you back in 2006 or 2007 what I did.
Yeah. So this guy thinks cash is king, having that much cash. So you think having that much cash is worth $20 a share?
Cash is worthless.
You're just crazy. You're just buying the bullshit.
Listen, cash is
Let me make a prediction. The $20-some premium in GME, because that's what you're paying for Ron Cohen being there, it's going to disappear. That'll be a $5 stock someday. Or if there's fundamental value for some reason, the premium will go out of it.
Let's say you build a business. I haven't seen it yet. Build a business, Ryan Cohen. Go ahead.
Yeah. It's a hell of a story about force protection. It's terrible.
It's not a hell of a story. It's the truth.
No, I know. That's what I meant. It's just terrible.
No, it's not. The hedge funds made money. No one cares.
Mm.
And for the people who have their kids and their sons or their daughters, their legs blown off, please post some pictures of your mangled kids. We all want to show the hedge funds what they did. I know it's a hard thing to discuss, but it's disgusting. And I did everything in my power. But I have people here that want to piss on me because I couldn't make the stock go up past $2. It's my job to make it go up past $2. If it was that easy, I'd be doing it every day. But it's okay. I know what I've done. I know I'm a good person, and I really don't care what anybody has to say who's negative. I don't pay attention to it. I just go forward. You don't have to follow me. I do not make money from it. I do not care. I don't care who follows me. If it's one person, I do not care. Barbara better follow me, or else I'm coming to get her. So Barbara, don't you run away. Get over here. Other than that, I could care less. If you don't want to help yourself, when your family's starving and you can't pay, or you need repairs, your roof needs a roof, you got a leak in your house, just remember, Jeff Easton said, fuck you. Let your family drown. We don't care. We don't care. I'm the piano man. That's what he's going to say to you. He couldn't care less. And the Democratic people and the Republicans that don't do anything and don't say anything, look at all those people that signed that document for MMTLP. How come none of them ever stood up again and said anything? Because he longs, and I'll tell you again, everybody on this call, longs do not work as one. The Roman army always wins when they worked as one. When they spread apart, the barbarians killed them all because they were stronger. The short sellers are trying to break apart our army by these attacks so that you panic and sell. And when you run out there to sell it, they're just going to club you in the head and take your money. That's what they're doing. If you want to put it in baby language for you. They want to scare you to run out, sell your stock, and take a loss. They want people to come on Williams' call or wherever call I'm on. That's why I don't like, I have a conference call. I can actually take calls, but I don't want to take it because I really don't want to deal with anybody who's negative. If you're negative, that's 2 doors down. Go online, don't bash, and become a basher. I could care less. But you're not getting an opinion. You're not getting a voice in my conversations. I just drove from a hospital home, had conference calls the whole way home doing 80, went to the supermarket, bought pumpkin, came home, feeding my dogs, making sure everything's all right. It's 2 o'clock, and I'm finally getting back in the house, and I'm going to go back to work. That's what I did today, and I've been up since 5:30. So for someone saying that I don't give a shit or I'm a scumbag, you know what? God bless you. Good luck. I don't care. And I hope they take all your money from your family because you deserve it for not fighting. I'm not asking anybody to come in here and defend your stock. You should want to do it. You don't have to own the stock. If you sold it, you take a loss. I got it because you need money. There's debts in the family. Kids got to go to school, whatever it may be. But don't quit the fight. Continue posting. You may not be able to profit from it because you don't have the money, but you got to feel good about it when we break these guys, right? That's all you have to do. You don't have to be angry at us. The money ain't going to my pocket. Anyway, I'm done, William. I'm going to go to work.
Appreciate it.
I'm going to try to get back on Twitter. If Barbara would just send me her information, I get on Twitter.
No, don't use her.
Come on, Barbara. Give it up, Barbara.
Don't destroy her Twitter.
Come on, Barbara. Give it to me. You'll turn it into a ball of fire out there. Everyone will ask you, what is she drinking? All right, everyone. Have a great day. I'll be around if you need.
Thank you, Ham. All right.
You got it.
All right, so Fingers down 16 cents, 179. GBUX down 30 cents, $3. NIXX down 5 cents, 173. Barrick is down 27 cents. GME's up 5 cents. See where GDC is. GDC's up 3 cents, 258. Finger coming off a double bottom. Could be. Could be. Thoughts on crypto? Well, it's a complicated subject. I could be, if about 10 years, 12 years ago, I was in London for a couple of months, staying at a extended stay, and I would watch Max Kaiser every day. And he talked about this thing called Bitcoin. And I checked. It was under $1. He and his soon-to-be wife, Stacy, whatever. And I took out a notebook. I did all it, but it was back then you had to get a hard wallet. I didn't know what that was. It was very complicated. So I put my money, and I had a lot of money right then. I put it in real estate. I put it in a silver company. I bought silver. I bought a gold company. I bought a couple other things. I can't remember. And I said to myself, well, I'll come back to that when I get back to the States and I'm able to, because I need somebody to help me figure out what a bloody hard wallet is. Well, anyway, if I just put, I don't know, pick a number, 25 grand. I mean, I put 150 grand into silver. I put 75 grand into a silver company. I put something like 75 grand into a gold company. I don't know, pick a number. If I just allocated a little bit to Bitcoin, I'd be sitting here like a king. But so that's always one thought that goes through my head when I think about crypto. But there's a lot of things. I think crypto, along with ETFs, but I think crypto siphoned off money that would have otherwise gone to gold and silver and to mining stocks. I think that. I think crypto, there's so many different crypto coins that it reminds me. Now, we may have already gone through that phase, but it reminds me of the high tech rally, sort of turn of the century, where everyone was excited. Everyone with a .com on it went to the moon. By the time they finished cramming all in original investors down and consolidating, I'd say less than 5% of those companies ever went on to make anything for original investors. I kind of feel like you got to be wary of that in the crypto space. They're not all going to survive. I think there's a lot, and a friend of mine said this to me, and he knows more about it than I do, but there's a lot of technology, what's the word? Swiftness. Technology changes rapidly, and you got to be aware of that. I don't think crypto is a valid alternative to money, unless it's one that doesn't go up very much, like Shibu Inu. But when people say that Bitcoin is an alternative to money, I don't see it. I mean, if you accept money, if you sell your Ford pickup truck for Bitcoin when Bitcoin's trading for $110 a coin, and then you get back to work, you go on vacation, 6 months later, Bitcoin's 60,000, you sold your truck for half the price. That doesn't sound like money to me. On the other hand, it can go up, but that sounds like a commodity. That sounds like a speculation. None of the cryptocurrencies have survived a crash because, frankly, none of you have seen a crash in the stock market. None of you. None of you. Even somebody as old as I am, the one crash that shook the system was in 1987, October 19th, I think, or 17th. Even the crash under Obama, that rallied back so quickly. There hasn't been anything. There hasn't been anything. So we'll see if it survives all that. I don't know if crypto can be affected by government law. My guess is it can, fiat. I personally love having the ability to pay, if you're going to go pick up a hooker, you can pay her in cash. If you're going to go buy drugs, some cocaine, you can pay cash. If you're going to go buy, go buy a shotgun, you can pay cash. Now we're moving to a world where everything goes across the card, and you're not going to be able to pay for any of your vices in cash. I don't know. Is that a better world? Maybe. Remember, women are in charge. Have you ever been on a condo board that you enjoy when women run it? Or owned a condo? I guess those are all my thoughts right now. I like crypto. I like some of them. I got to study it again. I stopped studying it. I like the DeFi aspect of crypto. DeFi distributes finance to everyone, and it gets rid of Goldman Sachs. I love that. I love it. I like the idea of the contracts. Yeah, there's different things I like about crypto, but I don't think it's a panacea. And somebody up here keeps bringing up blockchain. I think you're a blockhead, not you, not the guy, but I think you are a blockhead if you think blockchain is going to solve the problem with over collateralization of your assets on Wall Street. I think they'll create derivatives on blockchain. They're exempt from regulation with derivatives. Thank you, Bill Clinton. But I know Bill Clinton's an honest man. Donald Trump, he has no truth. Donald Trump didn't make derivatives free of regulation. Oh, but Donald Trump gets loans from Deutsche Bank. He's corrupt. Yeah, they all got. Hillary had the answers. Maybe you have a complaint that I'm not being fair. I should just let Hillary fix it. But I don't know about that. You have to put forth true effort. I don't know. I don't know. You got to work smart too, I guess. Middle ground. I just don't care about GME. You can study GME all you want. I don't care. Really, I hope you get rich. I think you're just all dreaming. I don't know why you're still sitting in it. It's $28. The cash reserves might be $7 a share. It's going to cost them $2 a share to unwind all the shit they're in. It might be worth $5 a share. So you're giving credit to Ryan Cohen that his management is worth $20, $22 a share. That's a sucker's analysis. Let's go to Finger. Somebody asked what the value of Finger is right now. That's not an easy question. I've talked about it many times, and I don't know the answer. You can go benchmark had a value of $5, and the shares outstanding then were 44 million. Now they're pushing 60 million shares outstanding. So has it improved, or is it now worth, you know, $3.50 a share instead of $5 because there's more shares outstanding? You know, they had a lot of projections here and top up, and you know, is this a good report? Are these good analysts? I don't know. I think Finger on a fundamental basis right now might be worth 1 or 2 or 3 times its revenue. $100 million. That's where it's trading. That's where it's trading right now. So a lot of investing is seeing what the value is now, but seeing what the value is going to be in the future. And we don't have enough information on that with Finger. I would suggest you watch the interview from Skyline on May 7th, and you'll learn a lot at that time. I forget who asked the question, but I still stand by my observation that I think the company's going to have to raise money. And if they do that by issuing shares through that brokerage firm in New York, can't think Roth Capital, you know, you're just gonna have to absorb a hit. Roth Capital works for Moez Kasem. They don't work for their clients. At least sometimes they work for Moez Kasem. All right, so everybody, you can sign off if you want to. I just have to feel like I actually accomplished something today. So a lot of people here, like the gentleman, he's another day, another dollar lost, whatever. It's so useless comment. I think if you want to get into an investment, which will squeeze, will give you the returns of a squeeze play without the CEO, without lawyers, without a board of directors, without Jeff Easton, without the Kramers, without Ari Rubinstein, you buy silver. Now I know you may not have the money now, but if Finger or NIXX or one of the others runs, maybe take 10% of the profit and put it in silver. And many of you ask about ETFs. So I'm just going to take a second and read from David Morgan and David Smith's book of 12 years ago, a little bit about ETFs. My favorite silver ETF is Eric Sprott's ETF, P for physical, S for silver, L for silver, V for silver. And I think that's the best ETF to be in. But let's see what you can learn. There's better known ETFs out there that I think have risks, but they also have strengths. So he says, now this book was written in 2016. I think it was published then. Let me check. Yeah, 2016. And at that time, David Smith and David Morgan were predicting a 3 to 5 year battle plan where you could make 10 times your money trading ETFs. This was written 8 years ago. And this was a 3 year or 5 year battle plan. Well, you can go, well, they're obviously wrong. Or you can say the pressure's been building up and time is short. That's kind of where I see it. So I won't read every single thing. I'll try to paraphrase. But I want to get some of the ETF concepts in your head. If you want to tune out, thank you for joining. But I don't know how to edit and chop and all that, so I'm just going to do it. He quotes Mike Tyson, "Fear is your best friend or worst enemy. It's like fire. If you control it, it can cook for you. It can heat your house. If you can't control it, it'll burn everything down." And that's kind of why I want you to have some knowledge, because the great counteractor to fear is knowledge and a plan. So anyway, over the years, the Morgan Report has written several extensive reports dealing with mining and precious metals exchange traded funds. We feel they also were called exchange traded products. We feel these are, I'm paraphrasing, I just want to get through it, double-edged swords. You could go through the rest of the bull market in gold without ever trading a standard ETF, let alone a leveraged or inverse ETF. And you could still do really well by just owning specific mining stocks. That's what I would prefer you do. But achieving 10x or even better is possible trading ETFs. There's lots of caveats. The term exchange traded product, ETP, refers to the universe of such funds, including exchange traded funds, ETFs, and exchange traded notes, ETNs, and exchange traded fund securities, ETFs. But the most common is an ETF. There's now 5,000 exchange traded products. Well, 8 years ago, there were 5,000 in the United States. These are funds that generally track an index, but they can be something else. They trade like a stock. It's passive. It tries to mimic an index. They don't track mutual funds. ETFs are, and all exchange traded funds are different than mutual funds because they trade during the day, and the NAV in mutual funds are calculated at the end of the day. Okay, what are the advantages of ETFs over mutual funds? You can trade an ETF in your brokerage account. I know you can do mutual funds, but not all mutual funds, depending on your firm. You can use limits. Lower fees, long, short, no minimums. You can buy and sell during the day. I'm going to skip the negatives. What are the negatives? All right, so the iShares Silver Trust is the 800-pound silver ETF gorilla. A decade ago, so that's 2 decades ago, mostly, precious metals investors were given an option to start trading silver in a new way. In April of 2006, the first silver exchange traded fund in the United States, Barclays iShares Silver Trust, SLV, Amex, appeared on the scene with an initial deposit of 1.5 million ounces of silver. SLV was a trading vehicle which gave investors easy access to an investment in the silver market. This particular method has been criticized because you can't take delivery, which is true, that it can't be sold short, which is true, and it may not have all the silver it claims to possess, which is worthy of debate, and that there are better ways to invest in silver, and that's also true. The biggest advantage for silver bulls in the existence of an ETF is you have more things to participate in. It gives the non-traditional investor an easy way to participate in silver in a trading account. You can do it at a discount broker. And if and when a true physical squeeze occurs, it may be the last thing anybody can buy, and you can sell at the top. This vehicle, ETFs, help institutional investors who often cannot buy physical silver or even a given mining stock if you're buying an ETF of mining stocks, because the mining stocks might be too inexpensive. Institutional investors, when they buy, provide more power to a bull leg, but of course they destroy stock prices on the downside. But the holdings stay relatively unaffected, he says. SLV's custodian is JP Morgan, which is they're rumored to be the big short. Not all ETFs for a given commodity are identical. The Central Fund of Canada, CEF, that's another good physical fund. It's the first gold exchange traded product, founded in 1961. Trades like a stock. It's a closed-ended fund, CEF. The gold ETF is GLD. You know that already. ETFs make about 25% of the equity trading volume during an average market day. Wow. Then there's a thing called inverse ETFs, which they try to basically go short. So here's a caution. According to David Stockman, as of 2016, there were almost 5,000 ETFs with a combined value of 3 trillion. That's, 2016. Most of their exponential growth occurred after the 2008 crisis. David Stockman refers to ETFs, in jest maybe, as quote unquote financially explosive devices, FEDs. This is one more reason as to why you must consider ETFs collectively as speculative vehicles, not buy and hold core holdings. David Stockman said, no long-term investor would possibly believe that a hodgepodge of industries can be rationally analyzed at the company specific level. After all, the whole point of competitive markets is to sort out the winners, losers at the sector, industry, and sub-industry level. It doesn't happen anymore. So buying the entire industry in a single stock amounts to embracing self-canceling financial noise. That undoes all the hard work Mr. Market performs at the operating performance level, unquote. And then, according to David Morgan, ETFs may come and go, but gold and silver remain. Before you consider stepping into even the shallow end of the ETP sector pool, make sure that there's enough volume you can either get in or out at a good price. ETFs are trading tools, not buy and hold assets. Think of them the way a surgeon does a scalpel. They have a specific function. The top tier ETFs to consider in the precious metals area: GDX, GDXJ, and SIL. This is for stocks. The Market Vectors Gold Miners Fund, GDX, holds approximately 50 companies, including some found on the HUI index. So it's a good proxy. The Vectors Junior Gold Miners Trust, GDXJ, offers exposure to 48 gold and silver miners. This is 8 years ago. Among its top holdings, First Majestic Silver, Alamis Gold, IM Gold, Nova Gold, and Pretium Resources. The Global X Silver Miners Fund, SIL, owns a basket of 22 silver miners. That's SIL. And their assets are Pan American Silver, First Majestic Silver, Silver Wheaton, Hecla Mining. And I think you can just buy some of the silver companies as well. Then he talks about the Sprott Physical Silver Trust, PSLV. It's a closed-end fund. It was introduced in 2010. It is traded from a premium ranging to 7% over net asset value to 23% below net asset value. The Sprott Physical Gold Trust, which is PHYS, launched the same time, is a physically backed gold ETF. It states, quote, PHYS, the Sprott Physical Gold Trust, Physical Gold, will store the underlying gold bullion at the Royal Canadian Mint, a Canadian Crown corporation that acts as an agent of the Canadian government, whose obligations generally constitute unconditional obligations of the Canadian government. With the launch of the Sprott Physical Gold Trust, investors now have the ability to invest in gold bullion stored in a number of physical locations, including the United States, Canada, UK, and Switzerland. And then he talks about leveraged and inverse exchange traded funds. I don't really like those. You can get 2x the move, 3x the move, or go opposite the move. The reason I don't like them, when they work, they're great, but they use a lot of options and futures, and they can blow up. They can actually blow up. So I think they're too risky for you. But here's one, JNUG, JNUG, Gold Miners Index, bullish, 3x. They try to make 3 times the move. There's the USLV, the ProShares Ultra Silver. That's 3 times the move in silver. There's Nugget, NUGT. That's the daily gold miners bull. That's 3 times the move. I think the leverage can bite you in the butt. All right, that's all I wanted to say. All I wanted to say. I think I went over some of that before. Let's see how the prices are. GDC's up 6 cents. It's the only one green that I'm looking at. Fingers down 17 cents at 179. It's still above the 200-day moving average. GBUX is 326, down 5 cents. NIXX is down 4.5 cents. Let me see the volume on NIXX. It's only 44,000 shares. So I do continue to say that NIXX gives you this one last chance to trade it, get in it if you want to. It's not financial advice. UPS is going to slash 20,000 jobs. That can't be good. Whales are accumulating again on Bitcoin. U.S. home ownership falls to the lowest level, but prices of U.S. homes are at the highest ever. Beyonce concert descends into chaos. That is the first news. Unbelievable. They're talking about a dirty habit is linked to colon cancer. They don't talk about the obvious thing. Yeah, it's all junk news. All right, let me just look a couple other places, see if there's anything going on. All right, looks like a boring day in the news front. Canada's relationship with the United States is over. All right. Well, when they invade you, Carney is saying that the relationship between the United States and Canada is over. The media has been 92% anti-Trump. This is the far left and their woke agenda fighting to take over the world because their economics is failing. They refuse to reform and expect to keep borrowing for their endless promises of free gifts. This is no means simply Carney in Canada. The agenda is Europe and the World Economic Forum. Schwab's bold statements and their Agenda 2030 were to have total control of everything because their economic system is collapsing. You cannot borrow forever without any intention of ever paying it off. A 3-year-old with a pocket calculator could probably figure that out. And his target, this is Martin Armstrong, his target for trouble is 2032. So in that context, maybe that's our time frame for becoming our own investment, our own central banks. Monitoring everything you say on social media is becoming a reality. Yet, Ann Wagner doesn't want blue sheets to protect your privacy. Unbelievable. NASA has all your data. They have the right to search your social media if you need a visa for vacation, or even for an American citizen to get permission to return home. Schwab took the position that if you have nothing to hide, you shouldn't be afraid. He knows nothing about law and how a word can have different interpretations. This very issue sparked the American Revolution. Schwab obviously does not know his history. There was a legal case that became the seminal beginning of the American Revolution, known as NIXX versus Carrington. I'd never heard of it. And 3 other king's messengers reported in Howell's state trials. This case was the start of the American Revolution and was based on the abuse of the king's agents. The action was 1762 for trespassing and interfering with the plaintiff's dwelling by breaking open his desks and boxes and examining his papers. All right, I'm sure it's interesting, but it doesn't interest me. Carney has aligned with the globalists of the EU and will attempt to shift Canada. He will seek to link the Canadian economy to that of the EU and has won his election on the hatred of Donald Trump. This was an intentional ploy instigated by the neocons and the EU, the EU will collapse from a sovereign debt crisis. So they are desperate to create World War III, but at least they're honest. Donald Trump is obviously a liar. Truth and Donald Trump are oxymoronic. So the EU is desperate to create World War III to retain power and use that as an excuse for the 80 years of failed socialist agenda, which has produced debt that will never be paid off. Carney is the ultimate World Economic Forum insider. He's the leading force in creating the net zero climate agenda, which I'm not totally against that, but I'm in a minority. It depends on how it's implemented. I think the markets can, anyway, let's just keep going. The computer, this is Martin Armstrong's computer, that we will see a typical split, east versus west. Eventually, British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba will break from the east out of pure economic survival. Years ago, I read that the western part of Canada would join the western part of the United States. Europe will break up as well, and eventually the same will unfold in the United States. Centralized dictatorial government has always failed, and what they have engaged in since World War II is socialism. A simple comparison of quarterly GDP growth between Canada and the United States demonstrates the utter failure of Canada's socialistic policies. Carney ran on the hate fest against Trump because he could not run on the economic track record of managing the economy of Canada under Trudeau. Even the economic growth of Germany, the best in the EU, cannot compare to that of the United States, where there's less regulation and less socialism. The more any government tries to intervene and control aspects of the economy, the greater its failure, just as Marxism took down communism in China, Russia, much of South America, especially Cuba. All right, GDXU. I like GDXU. Bought 500 ounces of silver today. That's going to be your best. Just try not to sell it. I mean, you can trade it. If it triples, maybe you can trade some of it and try to increase your position. Tell him he can use my second account. Vince Felice. Okay. Yeah, I saw that 150T. Look, Finger is a trade. You're not going to be in Finger when the financial system collapses. Which platform would you say is more reliable, Charles Schwab or Fidelity? Charles Schwab is run by Charles Schwab. Fidelity's run by the woman that inherited it. Fidelity apparently has a lot of problems with that MMAT and other things. Just based on that, I would say Schwab is better than Fidelity, but I don't know. I use E-Trade, which is Morgan Stanley. I think Morgan Stanley is better off, but look, all of these companies are overextended, all of them. There's no escaping the risk. All right, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to wish everybody well, peace to the world, and I hope everyone has a good evening. Take a look at NIXX over the last hour while it's cheap. Take a look at RLAIF, Finger maybe, and maybe GBUX, GDC. You know, these are all speculative buys, but they can give you a double or a triple maybe. All right, cheers.